Okay, I'm here with Jaylon Bates. He's got a big fight coming up February 4th, Bellator 290, live on CBS, taking on Jornel Lugo. Jaylon, how you doing, man?
Amazing, brother. God is great. God is good. And I'm just thankful to be alive another year to continue on cementing my legacy.
Awesome. So obviously we're a couple weeks out now. First question, really, how you feeling coming into this one?
I feel light. I feel on weight. I feel like this is actually one of the easiest camps I've ever had. And it's because of the discipline I've been utilizing and listening to Antonio and actually listening to Antonio, not just listening to Antonio and hearing him. No, actually listening to him. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
We'll touch on that discipline in a second, but we'll go to the fight first. Obviously, it's Jornel Lugo this time. And when you look at him compared to some of the other guys you fought, it looks like a step up. Do you agree with that?
Can I plead the fifth? No,
Yeah,
I'm
go.
just I think Jornel's a great opponent. I think there's a lot of areas that he's lacking and um and I think after I beat him, I think once I'm champion, we'll see a rematch and
Mm,
we'll see a Lugo Bates too.
yeah. What are those areas you think he's lacking in?
I don't want to give it away, I don't want to tell. I don't want to say too much. He might be watching this somewhere, or
Yeah.
he might watch this after you post it.
Mm,
But there's some areas that we've seen some of his weaknesses that Antonio's seen and Slice has seen and YL's seen that we're going to utilize and hopefully expose them.
mm. So I would usually ask how you see yourself comparing to him, how you see this matchup when you look at
Mhm.
yourself. But based on what you've just said, you feel it's pretty favorable.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a very dominant fighter, and I'm a very aggressive fighter. I see that, and I mean, unless he does something out of the woodworks and he becomes aggressive, I don't see him as aggressive as me. I'm a come forward fighter, and he doesn't have what he's not a one. He's not a knockout puncher. He's not a one stopper. He's not a one shot killer. So, and he's not a wrestler. And all those things take a lot of strength and power. So at the end of the day, I just see myself coming forward and just putting this man away in the quickest fashion.
You mentioned Antonio there. Have you been spending most of your time coming into this one at Body Shop? Because obviously you've done some work at ATT Portland before. Has
Yeah,
it been mainly Body Shop this time?
yeah. Antonio is, um, he's my head coach. He's my head coach and trainer. He's my mentor. He's the guy I go to. He's my go-to guy. He's a great friend. He's really shown me a way of orienting myself in life to be successful. And because the way I was going, I truly believe that when I was with my first coach and when I was with AT&T, I probably have some losses by now, truthfully. And now that I'm actually listening to him, actually listening to his advice, heeding it, and and utilizing it. He's the longest coach I've ever been with, ever, with from my amateur to my pros. I've been with him for 2.5 years now, and yeah, yeah, yeah,
I actually bumped into AJ the other day when he was in London. Great guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's super chill, man.
yeah. Um, Coming on to that discipline a little bit, you talked after your last fight about not really taking that camp seriously. You only trained a couple of weeks, nearly missed weight, and you were really disappointed in yourself for that, it seemed. So looking back, I guess, how do you reflect on that and just what is different this time?
Well, actually utilizing a full training camp. Um, Besides having to like go to like your doctor's medicals appointments, I've been in camp full time. And once you're in full when I'm in camp full time, I'm noticing that I get better and better. I see things differently. I see what Antonio is teaching us. And that doesn't work when you're taking 2 weeks off or a week off here, then you're there for 2 weeks and then you take another week off. And that's the way I approach my career all the way up into the last fight. And I said, okay, September, when I had signed originally to fight Jornel, September, we're on. Then some medicals didn't clear through. Unfortunately, the doctor didn't want to clear me, but I had fights, prior to that, pre-existing injury. So it was just the doctor, and we're cleared now, and so we're ready to go.
Yeah. So with that extra time, obviously the fight was supposed to happen in November before it got pushed to February. It's the longest layoff of your pro career so far since your last fight. How were you able to use this extra time to evolve your game even further, do you think? What does this version of Jaylon Bates look like?
I see it as it's uh it's really scary, honestly, because I also believe I've been scared of my own greatness, and I've been scared of, well, how great can I be? And if I get really good, is that good? Like, what happens when the competition's no longer competition? What happens if the fights are easy? Well, let's get there first, and let's see. Then let's cross that bridge, and then we'll see. So I've been just working, man, in the gym, running, drinking my water, eating healthy foods, salmon, steak, just living the fighter lifestyle. And I'm not doing it and I'm not doing it halfway. I'm not doing it where, okay, now I'm gonna go and mess up my diet. No, I've just been living it. And the thing is, it's easy. It's not actually hard. It's not as hard as we make it. I've been studying the human body, studying certain. I've just been really detailing and honing in on organs and different things you can hit in the body that can shut the body down. Man, it's gonna get really dangerous in there. I can't wait.
So you're about 2 years into your pro career now, 6-0, perfect record. A lot of attention on you as a real up and coming prospect in the sport. Very confident, obviously, justifiably so by the results so far. So looking back, how do you evaluate the first 2 years of your career?
Unfocused, undisciplined, wild man, doing whatever I want, just like running out there like
Hmm.
now. I'm gonna be a family man. I'm gonna have a family. I'm gonna have a fiance. I have a fiance. I'm gonna have a wife. Uh, Now it's responsibility time. It's accountability time. It's honing in on how great I am and honing in on my skills and mastering my craft, mastering what I've loved to do. When one day these videos will come out, but my mom has videos of me, going crazy, and I'm like 13 or 14 years old, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lose. I play chess. Like, I'm a big chess fan. I love playing chess. Chess is my favorite pastime game
Hmm.
besides Modern Warfare, and it's gonna just come full circle of every of. It's an intelligence sport. At the end of the day, as much as people think it's physical, it's really intelligence, and I like showing how intelligent I am in that cage.
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned chess there because obviously if fights uh, people consider fights like a game of chess sometimes, and usually people just use it as an excuse when the fight's a bit slow and but technically good. But how do you feel doing something like that has been beneficial in MMA, just with the mindset, with the brain power?
Patterns, patterns, man. You see patterns. You see openings. You see mistakes. You see your mistakes. You see, well, okay, I could have been better there. Every time I leave the gym, I'm always thinking, I'm always asking coach, or I'm asking Joey, or I'm asking someone like, so what do you do? So when I did this, like if I almost got them in a submission, right? And they got out of it. Okay, wait, what did you do? Okay, so if I would have done this, then that would have made it better. Or that would have stopped that. How did you take me down right there? I thought I defended that. I thought I had that in the bag. It's just that never learn, just that constant learning and evolution process of being your biggest critique. And I am my biggest critique. Yeah, man. I'm hard. I'm very hard on myself. I don't celebrate anything. Even once I get the belts, I already told my parents like, you guys are gonna get the belts because I don't want the belts. I don't care. At the end of the day, I just want the belt to get the belt so it can go collect dust.
Hmm.
But I just want to say I'm the champion. That's more important.
Yeah. Of course, you're on a big card coming up, the debut show on CBS, the retirement for Fedor, LA Forum. What does it mean to you to be on this big of a showcase?
Honestly, I don't even think it's hit me yet or dawned on me yet because they're saying how big of a showcase. I'm like, that's just I've been on I think three cards with Bader already. So I'm like, well, how big is it? It's not that big, right? But it is pretty big. Well, that's one thing I'm realizing. Like, it is pretty big, you know. And I remember like even in the beginning of my career, like going in the elevator and seeing Ryan Bader, and he's a heavyweight champion. I'm like, man, like I'm really like at one point this was all a dream to me. At one point, this is something I just was telling my high school wrestling coach, like, I don't want to go to college. I want to go fight. Okay, let me put you with One Kick Knicks because I was raised in Vegas, so in Vegas is the fight capital of the world. So okay, let me put you with One Kick Knicks, then going to One Kicks, and then okay, I was there for like a month and a half. Then I went to Muay Thai. Then I was with Evan Dunham and doing his jujitsu school. And then I was like, okay, but I need more than that because it's just jujitsu. Then I was with John Wood at Syndicate. Like then that's when it really took. And I'm only 18, 19, taking a bus 2 hours
Mm.
to practice, paying my own way. So the dedication I really had in this sport is now I'm on a big stage, and this is even how big it's gonna go. It's gonna get a lot bigger. So I can't. I just God's good, man. That's all I can say.
It feels like all that effort you put in, traveling around, trying to get better when you're younger, is starting to pay off then.
Absolutely, because it was determination. I was like, okay, I don't have a car. Well, I'm gonna get on the bus, and some days I would run, and some days I would run there and home after practice with my backpack on my back. Like
Mm.
the dedication I really had. That's why sometimes I see some of these guys with the dedication they have, and I'm like, they don't even know. Like people really don't know what it took for me to become what to get where I'm at today. And this is only the beginning. I haven't even done that. I really, in my, I really haven't done anything yet.
Mm.
But one day I'll look back on it and say, I built this with hard work, determination, and more importantly, God, because God was on my side the whole way.
Yeah, I speak for a lot of people when we say we're very excited to see where you can go in the sport. Just finally, Jaylon Bates, Jornel Lugo, when fans tune in February 4th, what are they gonna see?
I would say fireworks, but I know he's a puncher, and I'm not a puncher. I'm going there. I go in there. I'm gonna go smash him the best elegant way I can, and get out in a beautiful fashion. And I'm not. The thing is, I'm not a celebrator. I'm not gonna be at the club. I'm gonna go home with the family, maybe do like a little barbecue, and that's it. Go to sleep, and get right back to it. Honestly, because I'm on a different mindset with this sport now, and since September, it's September it was gonna show, or November when we were signed to fight it was gonna show, but now it's February, it's gonna show, and it's gonna continue showing until I'm done with my career.
Yeah, awesome. Bellator 290, CBS in the US, of course, here it's on BBC iPlayer here in the UK. February
Hey,
4th, LA Forum, if you're in the area, get there. It's going to be a great card. Jaylon
yes,
Bates,
yes.
great to have you on today, man. Looking forward to the fight. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you, brother.
Feel free, man, to shout out any
Absolutely.
sponsors you've got or anyone you want to give some love to.
I have no sponsors. If you guys have sponsors for me, I'm more than willing to take them and promote them and advertise for them, man. I feel like I'm a well-spoken dude. I am kind of quiet, but it is what it is. I'm working on that in due time. Um, but yeah, I just want to shout out to God, man. God's great. Shout out to Team Body Shop. Shout out to my parents. Shout out to my extended family, everyone just that supported me, that's bought in t-shirts, oh, well, not this one, but I have t-shirts and merch. Everyone who's bought merch from me, thank you guys. Who's bought tickets, thank you guys, and keep supporting me because the train don't stop.
Cool. Thanks again for the time, and best of luck on February 4th.
Thank you. God bless.